Hey, what is up guys, Massive here, back to do another video, and today we are on Tournament Arena playing versus a very mysterious player. In fact, I want to present to you all a question. It's a pretty simple question. Is it this Phoenix or is this Eclipse? I've broken it down to two players. I've been playing this player and I want to know who it is. He has not revealed himself. He is using a VPN. He plays Red Zone Rampage a lot. Aside from that though, we don't know much about him, and I think he's really good. I said to myself at one point, am I playing technique? You'll see what I'm talking about in this game here. It's going to be a nod mirror of all things on Tournament Arena. Quite a classic map and a classic matchup. And we're playing as the Master Kane. My opponent, we're playing as either the Nod or Black Hand. It's going to be a Nod vanilla, okay. I remember now. Played this a couple days ago. Going for a Reckoner, which is unorthodox in this matchup. But since I already knew his faction, it wasn't purely random, this choice of mine. Reckoners are a bit faster than they were in previous 1.02 plus patches. They did get nerfed. Bike comes out, Raider Buggy 2. Maybe he's trying to do a mind game, making it look like he's all-inning me. Because the bike definitely threw me off. Usually play a scout with just a one unit. If he had just went for the Raider Buggy, then this Reckoner could have got to his base unopposed. But the bike is going to scare me back. Tip Trooper there, I have to clear out those militants. I'm going to attempt to rush him with this Reckoner. If I don't inflict any damage, especially in Nod Mirror, I'm pretty toast. I'm doing some micro action, evacuating those rockets, targeting one of his units, and then going back into the Reckoner. Reckoner is proceeding to his base. He pops down a Hand of Nod. Now, I did fix that bug whereby if you place or deploy Reckoner in front of a Hand of Nod, it crushes units coming out of it. That was fixed in this patch, though it did make for a good meme. Tib Silo is dropped. Now this is something that makes me wonder, am I playing Phoenix here? Because Phoenix was one of the only players to silo block. So we're playing versus someone who likes a silo block and plays Red Zone Rampage. Very curious indeed. Reckoner rushes straight out of 2015. Definitely a blast from the past, this one. Targeting down the Shredder turret so I can evacuate these rocket squads. Maybe kill a bike more or two. I definitely need to inflict more damage. All in. Tubble War Factory all in on Tournament Arena. A classic. In this matchup, it's a really good idea to do. He's doing it on 4 harvesters, so this is the technique classic all-in. I'm going to do the same thing, but before I sell my MCV, I'm going to go for a operations center to get that dozer blade upgrade. I don't want to sell my MCV before I get the operations center, because I get a 20% armor increase on my Scorpion tanks. Before though I do that, since he sold his MCV, and I can't remember if I killed the engineer or not, I may have actually killed it. Wasn't paying attention. But I'm going to send this MCV to the spike to place down a Shredder turret to prevent him from grabbing that tip spike of mine. Doesn't matter if the MCV takes damage. Though it kind of does, since I intend to sell it anyways later on to match his all-in. I can't defend this all-in of his without all-inning myself. He's going to be stacking units. This is very much like how Technique played. You think you're safe to eco up, but in reality he's just making units and more units. In that fog of war that you don't know what's in there, it's going to be a lot of bike buggy and Scorpion tanks, no doubt. And at this point I realized I effed up. I only have a singular power plant. Didn't place down a second power plant, so that is unfortunate. It's gonna hinder me a lot since I don't have power to upgrade dozer blades. I've got a dozen or so Scorpion tanks, My tip is running dry. I need this upgrade to come online because I'm at a unit disadvantage. I need this upgrade to equalize things. I'm going to push forward here, being extra cautious. If I'm not looking for 1 second, then he can come out of the fog of war and kill my units. I'm not going to have that speed advantage like I do versus GEI factions. No, this is a mirror matchup. I'm going to begin to leech from my expansion field, which is obviously a lot more risky than taking from the main, but I'm going to have no choice. My tib field is depleting, and I want to continue to build these Scorpion tanks. I've only got 4 houses, I think. On this map, it's best to all in with 4. Having the extra one is only good when you can secure the Tiberium at the expansion field. But yeah, the less you spend on eco, ironically, the more you get overall, since you're spending more in tip crystal value on units instead of harvesters and refineries. That's why players can continue outproducing their opponents with 1 refinery all-ins the longer the game goes, assuming they deal economic damage. So this is the first Scorp v Scorp engagement. My opponent does decide to turn back, and notice he has quite a number of Scorpion tanks, a bit more than me. Taking that green Tiberium, I'm splitting my units up, hoping to maybe kill a power plant of his, since he doesn't have an MCV. Targeting power plants, which usually aren't what players consider, but in an all-in game, it makes a lot of sense too. And I think I'm dead here. There's like a dozen bikes in my expansion tier field, taking out my harvesters. 2 harvesters goes down. That was unfortunate, but I did pick up a nice win in the bottom with 1 of my Scorpion tank forces and rebuilding those harvesters. I've only got 2 harvesters at this present time. I see he hasn't got an MCV. I was happy to see that. I'm going to pull back my army. But yeah, he has 4, maybe even 5 harvesters. And I'm sitting on just the 2. Get a 3rd one out here. I could maybe send that to the blue field, but as you saw, those bikes being out on the map, it's going to make it extremely difficult now to take Tiberium and to continue to produce units as I'm doing. I sell that operation center off for the tip trooper. Not that it's going to have much utility. It can slow 1 or 2 bikes down for my Scorpion tanks to catch up and destroy them. And since this is a game where every unit counts, I'm going to send my tanks that are in the red back to my base for repairs. I don't want to sell my war factory off unless I plan to rebuild my MCV. More Scorpion tanks are ready. I don't want to go into bikes because I feel like with this Dozer Blade upgrade, it's best served to just continue to build more Scorpion tanks. Even though he has that maneuverability over me in the form of these bikes, he's trying to hunt down my harvesters. In fact, he's going to find one right now. He's homing in on it. I'm going to lose a harvester. That was unfortunate. No, he does decide to turn back. Isn't committing to that. I'm going to pull that one back to my base for repairs. I'm getting repairs near my war factories. Army of tanks of mine are at the blue field. I was expecting him to be harassing my harvesters or camping that blue field with harvesters. The Scorpion tanks are overwhelming my base, but I have reinforcing tanks. I have to also watch the bikes. They're in my field trying to harass my harvesters. He's homing in on the harvesters. I'm splitting some forces of mine off to kill those bikes. Lots of positioning, lots of micro happening in this game. I'm trying to save my harvesters. He's relentless. This guy is not a noob, even though he's got like 20 games and a negative win-loss ratio. Guys, come on. This guy is not a noob. 4 tanks. I'm going to pull back to base for repairs. I'm in trouble here because I don't have much economy. He's been taking harvesters, taking Tiberium unopposed. And a lot of my tanks now are falling. They're in that low HP. Some of them are even promoted to elite. I'm going to... Hopefully I don't lose the elite tank. Did I lose the elite one? That's unfortunate. If so, I was trying to keep it alive. He's trying to kill the harvester. Man, that was worth it. In a low eco game like this, suiciding bikes to kill harvesters is really worth it. Now he's got me. I can't move out of my base. I've only got like 5 or 6 tanks. There's a couple more in the bottom, but they are ripe for taking out. I don't want to quit. I'm going to continue to press on forward and fight. Pulling back those tanks here. Every unit, every tank matters in this game now. For me, I can't afford to lose anything. I have to take some unbelievable trades to even have a chance of coming back in this game. I've got 4 harvesters, and he has pulled back. Thankfully, he has pulled back. He's given me some breathing room. I did a bit of scouting there with that tip trooper. I see he's continuing to build tanks. Hopefully, he's going for an MCV. If he's going for an MCV, there's a sliver of chance for me to get into this game again, but I'm in a dire position. I'm trying to bring in that Tiberium. Those harvesters that I recently produced are taking tip, but they have not yet refined any Tiberium. They're bringing it in now. He doesn't have any stealth detection to reveal my harvesters. Neither one of us are black hands, so our harvesters are getting pretty safe unless there are a couple of bikes to do the stealth detection, or in the case of Mock, even the Raider buggy will suffice. Scorp's moving forward, tries to take out one of my Tiberium spikes. Remember, I captured the 2 spikes. I have that spike advantage. I have that spike advantage. That has probably been keeping me in this game. He's got the harvesters. He's probably even built a 5th one. Made a bike just to reveal what was going on there. He does have now an MCV, which is big problems for me. A Hand of Nod comes down. I feel like now's my opportunity to attack him. Since he's got his MCV, he's probably only got a singular war factory, so he's going to be around this war factory receiving repairs. I'm pulling back my units that he's targeting, trying to force him into my units, and he places down now a laser turret. Can get quad turrets for those nowadays if he gets the operations center, though I'm sure if he gets the operations center down, he's going to be prioritizing dozer blades. I'm going to be forced to pull back with those laser turrets now doing so much damage. He's going to target down the ones that are in the red, but I'm pulling back that tank. There's some good micro actually from me in this game. Unfortunate reverse move bug happened just there, but I'm going to rectify that. Sometimes that can work to your advantage. Sometimes your opponent can get greedy and try and capitalize on these pathing issues that the game has. You are sometimes gonna be unlucky with the pathing, but it can be fixed pretty quickly if you do have a reverse bug on your Scorpion tanks. It's inevitable in a game like this where both players are spamming tanks. So more Scorpion tanks coming out here. Now these harvesters are paying dividends. I'm bringing in more Tiberium. And now I'm moving in here. You can see I have that decal from the alternate 4K mod, which you guys can download if you want. It's in the video description. Keep getting questions asked, Leaf, can you use the 4K mod with other mods? And the answer is no, unless you play R22 maps. The maps contain the R22 mod. It's a bit complicated, I know it's confusing, but the 4K mod works with the R22 maps. And it's designed to work that way. There's so many maps now, especially with the Legacy map pack that I released in early January. Adding an additional 50 odd maps, including all the EA maps that weren't in 1.02 Plus at any given point. So I've got 18 Scorpion tanks going now for those Raider buggies since he's building Fnatic squads. An engineer there to try and take that tier spike. He wants to get the tier spike back. He can maybe go to the top and destroy the one up there, unless he's done so already. I can't quite tell since I don't have a minimap. I've been playing this whole time without a minimap, so it's pretty hard to follow what's going on from an observer point of view. But I'm trying to recall what exactly happened here. He's got infantry mixed in with Scorpion tanks. No doubt he has a refinery set up on the expansion, which is horrible news for me since I have no MCV, nor do I have a refinery. He's also got the dozer blade upgrade on his tanks, so now the advantage I once had with the units is now gone. He's gonna pull back to his base, into his war factory. He's probably got 5 harvesters. He's probably been taking blue Tiberium as well. That's something I have not been doing in this game, and he's thinning out my forces now, targeting down the tanks that are in the red. You can see the targeting down from him. He's focusing on my units. I'm doing the same, but those rocket squads are a real nuisance. Something that I can't quite deal with unless I go in for the crush, but I don't want to get even further into his base. That's just becoming a bit of a death trap then. And now he's chasing me. I feel like I'm once again gonna lose this game. Like I feel like I'm dead here. He's ranking up Scorpion tanks. He's got an expansion. He's pushing forward with rocket squads. Those tanks of his are in the res. I'm gonna micro. I'm gonna absolutely try my best here. I'm at a numbers disadvantage. I'm being pushed back to my base, targeting down my Scorpions. I do maintain control of an elite Scorpion tank. That was saved. There's a shot that goes heroic. It's gonna have to go heroic if I'm to get back into this once again. Like, I'm once again being pushed back into my base. And this game has been pretty relentless since the early game, since that Reckoner rush. I'm not sure what he's got now. He's got Refinery at his field, and he's going to be camping his field with that War Factory. Infantry coming out. That's bad news. That could be the same two rockets that he built earlier. Both of us maintain control of an elite Scorpion tank. I'm trying to target that one down of his, since I don't want that to go heroic. It's got a lot of armor. That veterancy rank granting so much armor, but he's targeting my veteran tank down. That's unfortunate. A bike, just the one. Thankfully this time. Harassing my harvesters. He's pushing in. I'm targeting down his units once more. Harvesters. I'm pulling back towards my units so I can get the defense of these Scorpion tanks. I'm going to get that harvester back to work. Can't afford to lose too much time. Can't afford to have any idle harvesters. I don't have many harvesters. I've got 2 grand of resources, so I can build several more tanks, and I'm going to go in for another assault. Maybe this time I can find a weakness in his base. I'm going to queue yet another harvester. He is Nod, so the longer this game goes, the more chance of him taking up to tier 3 and getting laser capacitors as well. Maybe he doesn't have a refinery on his field, but it's probably placed all the way back there. Nevertheless, I am in some trouble here. I'm going to bring in some more tip. That bike is just scouting me. He probably doesn't want me to get that blue Tiberian field. It wouldn't surprise me if he's got several bikes camping my blue field. I haven't had an MCV for like 15 minutes, and I haven't even got through half of that green Tiberian field at my expansion. I have been periodically taking the field crystals that have regrown at my main, just to reduce the time to refine, so to speak. Splitting up these tanks here, just so I don't get caught by attack bikes. That has been his strategy since the beginning. He's been trying to kill my harvesters with attack bikes whilst distracting me with Scorpion tanks. Look at all that blue Tiberium. If I can gather this, then there's a real chance I can get back in this game. I can even possibly rebuild my MCV if I can secure this blue field. It's unlikely that he'll let me do it. If he scouts that I'm taking blue tip now, he's going to probably go in and attack me. He's taking it all for himself. That's probably why he was able to defend so well with that MCV that he rebuilt. So here comes an attack. He's got a lot of tanks. I've got a biker and a Scorpion tank at his blue field, looking to harass a harvester of his perhaps. I'm pulling him towards my base. I can trap him. He's gonna struggle to retreat from this. Scorpion tanks are in pursuit. I see he's spilling off a force in the top, maybe to try and flank me and go in for my war factories to reduce my production. Got a nice concave of mine happening, both of us trying to outposition one another. Once again, I'm going to pull these tanks back so they're not revealing their rear armor. It's about not revealing the rear armor, since that's a 50% damage penalty in the case of the Scorpion tank. A couple of ranks there on my units, and the bikes have found my harvesters. This was what I feared, so I'm not going to be able to collect that tip, but I am bringing in 2 full loads of blue tip now. It's going to give me the funds to rebuild the harvesters that I've lost. I'm going to pull these red HP tanks back to base, but I may not have the time to do so since he's going to be once again attacking me. He's not lost a singular harvester, so yeah, he's still going to be producing at the same rate as me. 3 bikes, 4 bikes. This time gonna not be successful. I'm going to queue another Harvester. I want to take that blue tip field. And I'm still in this match. This is one of those classic nod mirrors that we all used to know and love back in the day. This one, though, dragging on a little bit. But I do have, now for the first time, an army that can probably take him in one fight or another. I'm going to try and force him to commit more units that he needs to for one assault here. He's got an army of tanks in the bottom. I'm hoping that this attack that I'm going in can end it for me. He's got one war factory, so it's going to be difficult to pursue and kill him around this war factory, but he's only got half a dozen tanks or so there. I'm targeting down his tanks at my expansion field. He's taking out my harvesters with bikes. Just 3 or 4 though, and I think I'm going to have enough forces here to end him. Those harvesters of mine are going to be safe. I'm pulling them back to my base. I don't want them to be destroyed. But he's going to be calling the GG now, since he can no longer defend and fight off that army of tanks in my base. And at this point, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. How was this player playing like that, given the amount of gains and experience he supposedly has? I don't know. It's probably Phoenix, I'm guessing. I will only know in the future if I'm true or not. The other person I thought it could be was Eclipse, but I don't know. I'm leaning more towards it being Phoenix. But I could be wrong. I could actually be wrong on this. Anyways, guys, hope you all enjoyed it. I think those 2 spikes, maintaining them throughout the game, definitely won me it. That's another example of why you should either capture or destroy opponent's spikes. That is more true than ever on a map like this, because it was 2-0. 2 spikes to no spikes throughout that match. Anyways, guys, hope you all enjoyed this game. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Before I go, I'd like to thank all my patrons for continued support via my channel. Anyways, guys, I'll see you on the next video. This is it from me, Master Leaf. Peace out.